Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Will Spencer become a father, but with Dylan or Electra? Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful have long hinted that the Spencer and Forrester gangs will be shocked this summer by an unintended pregnancy. This month, Will Spencer has been quite busy. Did he unintentionally conceive Melissa Dylan or Electra Forrester? According to spoilers for this week's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Dylan will approach Will Spencer and offer him support following his difficult breakup. Naturally, one thing will lead to another, and by the end of the week, the former roommates will most likely be playing in Will's bedroom at the beach home. Even if Will Jr. plays hard to get, it won't be long until he caves in to the ballerina's overtures. We are aware of his infatuation with girls wearing tutus. Will feels quite lonely at this point because he hasn't been with anyone for about 48 hours. Since moving to Los Angeles, Melissa Dylan has had difficulty starting again. The last thing she wants is an unintended pregnancy and extra mouth to feed, so she has finally stopped needing to trash dive for supplies. On The Bold and the Beautiful, however, birth control isn't very common. In the coming weeks, Electra Forrester may also receive some startling news and discover that she is expecting a child. Even though she and Will were only back together for a few weeks, the majority of that time was spent in the bedroom. We are aware of Will Spencer Jr.'s fertility. He unintentionally got serial killer Luna Nozawa pregnant during their one and only sexual encounter. Do you believe he also got Dylan and/or Electra pregnant? Lee's startling fertility solution. Is history being repeated? According to teasers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Daphne Rose Walton gets heartbreaking news about her desire to become a mother. It seems that the Nose will not be able to conceive using conventional methods. This does not, however, mean that she will never be able to become a mother. We can't help but worry if Lee Finnegan would unintentionally give birth to a miracle child in need of a caring home. Let's start with Daphne, who has asked Lee to help her comprehend her difficulties with conception. Stay tuned to see how this might play out. She has been eager to start a family since she married Carter Walton, but all of their pregnancy tests have been unsuccessful. Lee's announcement that Daphne is infertile would surely devastate Daphne and Carter, who were ecstatic about the prospect of becoming parents. According to a sneak peek, Steffy Forrester Finnegan might be with Daphne when Lee breaks the news. This is advantageous because Daphne will need a supportive companion during this trying time. Daphne will then have to tell Carter what Lee disclosed. Carter is probably even more devastated than Daphne. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Daphne didn't start feeling the need for a child until she married Carter. Carter, on the other hand, has always yearned for his own family. Carter's ambition of having kids, a bride, and a white picket fence has persisted through every failed marriage and broken engagement. As a result, it appears that Carter may go through more heartache than Daphne. This may also imply that Carter is more motivated than Daphne to realize his family's goals. What does this have to do with Lee? Well, it's common knowledge that Lee adopted John Finn Finnegan. Without a doubt, Lee and Finn share a very close link that shows that love doesn't always have to be biological. Is it possible that Carter will turn to Lee and beg for help finding a baby? Carter has seen all the turmoil surrounding baby switches and adoptions over the years, so it is not only feasible but also quite plausible. He would never want to adopt a child who is legally someone else's, but what if a young woman was in a precarious situation? One that demanded secrecy and discretion? Could Carter and Daphne end up in a situation like Lee's with Jack Finnegan? In spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Will fights for Electra, Carter's heartbreak, and Forrester's dangerous diversion. Will Spencer is determined to make amends with Electra Forrester and begs Electra for another opportunity. According to previews, Electra struggles to balance her love for him with her allegiance to Ridge Forrester and the Forrester family. Their reunion could become much more difficult if there is an unexpected interruption. Eric Forrester and Ridge proceed with the couture launch in the hopes that the glitzy occasion will draw attention back to Forrester creations and away from the recent Logan scandal. According to spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, the high-profile display can provoke more inquiries and unwelcome attention rather than quell the issue and headlines. Daphne Rose Walton, still in shock over the terrible medical news, comes to the realization that she must tell Carter Walton the truth. Daphne needs to share what the doctor told her with Carter. Daphne and Carter will need to make a decision about their desire of starting a family as they face an uncertain future. Their marriage may face its most difficult test to date as a result of the emotional disclosure. Will is adamant about fighting for Electra and won't give up on her. At the same time, Eric becomes more committed to keeping his family safe. Electra might get caught in the center of a larger conflict between the Spencers and the Forresters as a result of Eric's stance. Dylan's obsession, Daphne's heartbreak, Eric's ultimatum, and the Shin crisis. Spoilers for the upcoming week of The Bold and the Beautiful point to some unexpected developments. Daphne Rose Walton and Carter Walton must decide on a few things. The marriage of John Finn Finnegan is put to the test. Eric Forrester also contributes to the escalation of the Spencer-Forrester war. Discover what will happen next in the CBS soap opera by continuing to read. First, let's talk about John Finn Finnegan and Steffi Forrester Finnegan. Sheila Carter has always been a problem, despite the couple's wonderful marriage. Sheila is pressuring Finn to let her into his life once more. Finn is aware that Steffi will become irate over this. It's probably not the best moment to discuss Sheila with Steffi given everything else going on. Finn will do it nonetheless. Steffi will go completely crazy. The fact that Finn is asking Steffi despite knowing that this could destroy his marriage is more worrisome. Has he forgotten Steffi's ferocious response? If he doesn't exercise caution, this might potentially end his marriage. He is going to confront Will Spencer about with Eric Forrester. Will only wants Electra Forrester back at the moment. I don't think Eric will put up with it, even though she wants it too. Will therefore be told by Eric to avoid his family, particularly Electra. I could imagine Electra attempting to appease the Forresters. Will and Electra are attracted to one another, nevertheless. Since their initial encounter at FC, they have been. Therefore, regardless of what others think, Electra might wind up in Will's arms. According to spoilers for this week's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Melissa Dillon has been showing a lot of interest in Will. She begins by stating that she does not wish to jeopardize her friendship. Before we know it, she's attempting to straddle Will at the beach home. That obviously didn't work, but Dillon is displaying two very distinct aspects of herself in one day. I'm concerned about it. Additionally, there is the marriage of Carter Walton and Daphne Rose Walton. What will they do now that they know they are infertile? Will they ever have a family? Which plotline do you most want to see this coming week? Post your opinions in the space provided for comments below. Are the authors attempting to undermine Steffi? And no, it's not because Steffi Forrester thought it was chic to wear her underwear to work last week and cover it with a trench coat. Rather, it's all conjecture that the authors are intentionally attempting to undermine the persona because no sane person would wear anything like that in daytime. Furthermore, Steffi is someone who constantly wants to be in charge and appreciated, but she won't receive the respect she believes she is due while wearing that outfit. It's obvious that a lot of B&B fans have strong opinions about the issue on social media. I get the argument that this is Steffi's company and that she could do what she wants, but in years of watching the show I have never seen Steffi wear something like this to work, was one commenter. Perhaps beneath her clothing, but not above. Furthermore, I don't think it's feasible for anyone to wear underwear to work. Don't get me wrong, Jackie looks good in almost anything she wears, observed a different critic. However, what was the costume department considering? Awful. She is dressed in a trench coat over a negligee, and the heat index is high. Forrester is a fashion house. Additionally, there was this comment, I thought this was really strange. I assumed she had just gotten out of bed and was sipping coffee in her underwear with Finn. Then she covers it with a trench coat and leaves for the office? I mean, I've heard of clothes that go from day to night, but from bed to work. Fans of B&B will, of course, just need to tune in every single day to see what happens next. The CBS network broadcasts The Bold and the Beautiful during the week. Look up the timings in your local listings. In the interim, please share your ideas with us in the space provided for comments below. Finn and Steffi come to a crossroads. Since Sheila chose to take the high road regarding her divorce from Deacon, Finn has been singing a new song about her. He told her he was proud of her after realizing how much she had changed. Sheila requested that he try to convince Steffi, Jacqueline McInnes would, to give her an opportunity. Finn first rejected the notion. He wants to avoid doing anything that could harm his marriage. However, Finn came to the conclusion that he and his wife ought to talk about it after speaking with Sheila more. Steffi is adamantly opposed to having Sheila in her life, which is the only reason they haven't. Finn does, however, want to see if Steffi's perception of Sheila would change as a result of the current situation. Will has been written off by the Forresters. After Logan's antics with Hope, they all feel that Electra has no right to be with him. Will participated in the launch, which the Forresters have characterized as an assault on them, as a member of the organization. Even Eric does not support the relationship. He supported Ridge's effort to convince Electra to break up with Will. They are closing ranks because they don't think their families should mix. Since Electra left the beach house, Will has been going downhill. His heart is set on Electra even though he is aware that he has other romantic possibilities, such as Dylan. But he's unsure if he should move on given their uncertain future. Finn opens the mother of all Pandora's boxes with Sheila, and Dylan finds out that Will is free. Sheila was in her son's arms in Finn's office, moaning about how devastated she was about losing Deacon, but is called her mother had given her hope. She swears she won't let him down again if he helps her. Sheila is ecstatic to be in Finn's arms once more, it's the sensation she's been longing for. She also wants to give her grandchild a firm hug. She begs him to assist her in reaching Steffi. Sheila continues to argue her position. Finn is confident that she will honor her promise because he is aware of how much she wants this. However, if he backs her, his marriage might disintegrate. Steffi will never forget the horrible things she has done to the people she loves, so he cannot lose her. Her request is not feasible. Finn is pleased with Sheila's handling of the divorce, but he won't disturb his wife despite Sheila's outbursts about her transformation. Steffi declines an exclusive interview with Ion Fashion at Forrester. When Ridge slams in, she lets him know. He informs her that he just struck Dollar Bill in the mouth. The story amuses Steffi, but Ridge acknowledges that he feels hypocritical because he fired Will for the same offense. Steffi switches the topic to Sheila while arguing that Bill deserved it. Ridge is informed by Steffi that Sheila signed Deacon's divorce decree and that they both disapprove of him being with Taylor. Sheila attempted to negotiate a position in Finn's life, Steffi informs her father. She is going to exploit his empathy. Ridge is certain that her spouse would never disobey her. Bill tells Will with a sly smile that Logan provoked the dressmaker into striking him. As expected, he got under his skin. Bill reminds his son that he did the right thing and that he shouldn't worry about the Forrester when the conversation shifts to Electra. Will is in pain. In essence, he needs Electra to survive. There are plenty of girls out there for him, Bill assures him. Will's only desire is Electra. Bill will not apologize for sticking it to the Forresters, but he is sorry that he and Electra were caught in the crossfire. That includes Electra, Will moans. Exasperated, Bill tells Will that he didn't deceive Electra or tell lies. He ought to go on with his life and quit letting her dictate what he can and cannot do. Electra tells Dylan that she moved out of Will's house and begs him to take a break so they can chat at Bikini. She describes how her guy caught her off guard. Dylan finds it incomprehensible that she had to move out due to the business predicament. Electra describes how Will physically assaulted RJ at the beach house. Dylan is shocked to learn that she departed with RJ, but she is certain that she will return to Will. This time, Electra pouts that she can't. Ridge forced her to decide between Forrester and Will. Adopting the theme of the month, Dylan and Electra assert that Spencers and Forresters are incompatible. Electra can no longer be Will's girlfriend.